Mr. Speaker, Alberta's greenhouse operators are very concerned their carbon tax exemption, better known as the Greenhouse Rebate Program, will be coming to an end January 1st, 2019. The Agriculture Minister recognized the plants growing in the greenhouse absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and in order to protect the competitiveness of Alberta's greenhouse operators, gave them an 80% exemption on the carbon tax. Minister, will the Greenhouse Rebate Program be extended beyond 2018?
The Honourable Minister of Environment and Parks.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And it is the case that a number of different industries have a review period for their carbon levy and the carbon competitiveness regulation as well. And so the greenhouse industry is no different. We will work with them and assess where they are at with respect to some of their efficiency investments and so on, and where the industry is at right now, and what will be required going into the future.
First supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, given intensive agriculture in greenhouses received the carbon tax exemption, recognizing greenhouse plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, but given farmers who need to run grain dryers powered by natural gas and propane are not eligible for any rebate program, although their plants also absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Minister, how is it fair that one sector of agriculture gets a carbon tax exemption for absorbing carbon dioxide while another sector of agriculture does not?
The Honourable Minister of Agriculture and Forestry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's important to note that when I talk to farmers, ranchers and processors across the province, what they ask me is what can they do to reduce their own greenhouse gas emissions? What can they do to increase their profits in doing just that? And Mr. Speaker, I want to correct the member. There is actually a 50% rebate program through the Climate Leadership Plan on retrofitting and upgrading those grain drivers. So there is an opportunity for farmers to become more efficient, to act and reduce their costs and become more profitable, Mr. Speaker.
Second supplemental.
Mr. Speaker, grain farmers were not involved in the program with the carbon tax exemption. Given Alberta agricultural production absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and given Canada is a neutral carbon sink helping to clean the atmosphere for the rest of the world, given this NDP government is setting Albertans up to fail by refusing to claim our fair share of global CO2 absorption, while their policy is all tax with no environmental benefit, Mr. Speaker, why won't the NDP scrap their job-killing carbon tax?
The Honourable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And given that the premise of the question is premised on a number of different scientific statements that actually are at variance with reality. The rest of the answer to the question is necessarily difficult to give. Climate change is real. Mr. Speaker, CO2 emissions, anthropogenic CO2 emissions cause the changing climate, Mr. Speaker, and there are a number of different ways that we are both reducing our greenhouse gas emissions and adapting to a changing climate. All of those things are facts.